Today on Joe's Geek Show, we're going to be talking about the brand new Injustice movie. What's going on, and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And before we get started, if you're new and like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and sharing. So Injustice is the new 2021 DC animated movie based on the NetherRealm Studios game of the same name. And if you've played those games, the premise of this movie is pretty much the same thing. The Joker tricks Superman into doing something completely heinous, then Superman kills the Joker, which leads him down a path to dictatorship. But while the basic premise does remain the same, it's also worth noting that it's not a direct adaptation of any one of the video games. Effectively, it's not like an animated version of all of the cutscenes of the first game or anything, but rather it's more of a condensed Injustice story packed into the 78 minutes or so this movie is, and even throws in some original concepts and ideas to make it stand apart from its video game counterparts. There's even characters used in this movie that were not in the video game, not even as DLC content. So it was interesting watching some of these characters get worked into the film. And I will say, it is an array cast of characters for this movie. I mean, of course we have our heavy hitters of the Trinity in this movie of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but we also have some other characters like Cyborg, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Plastic Man, Hawkman, Mr. Terrific, Nightwing, Robin, the Damian Wayne version, and some other appearances from some other heroes, well, at least temporarily. Because some of these characters that come into this movie are there for just a couple of scenes before they break off, never to be seen or heard from again. Specifically at a critical moment where Superman is pretty much saying, hey, I'm going to more or less start controlling the flow of the planet in terms of its politics, which makes some characters go, yeah, we're not getting in on that. And then naturally, Superman's actions escalate from there. More characters are starting to step to the side going, boy, you're going crazy. And a few that are like, we're behind you, Big Blue, until we reach the inevitable conclusion where the film ends, which I will admit the ending was kind of abrupt, but I guess it was an okay spot to leave off on. As far as the voice cast goes, I think everybody did an admirable job here. The only voice I really didn't like in this movie was the voice they had for the Joker. He just sounded really old. I mean, even the visuals of the Joker, you know, he does look like an older version of the character, but the voice, I don't know, he just sounded older. And even the way he laughed, it just didn't hit the right pitch for me. But hey, it's Injustice, which means, you know, that character isn't going to be around for very long. The animation in this movie was also pretty interesting because they're using the same animation styles from the last two Mortal Kombat animated films. So there's definitely moments where the animation was pretty fluid, but then there was other moments it looked a bit choppy. I think the colors are absolutely great. There's definitely a vibrance to them. But then there's this weird shadows that they use where they, like, for example, draw on the knuckles and they're just like, you know, these black rectangles. But overall, it's pretty good. As far as the pacing of the movie goes, it is pretty quick because, as I said, it's a condensed story that's just packing in a lot of content, which I think for the most part works very well because it helped me stay engaged in the movie. There were moments when the movie needed to slow down, and it did so at the right times, and then moments where the movie speeded up and delivered some pretty good action sequences. So my final takeaway is, I really like the movie. It's recognizable as Injustice with some very key scenes, but it's also not a direct interpretation to where I feel like I'd rather be playing the video game. There's definitely some good elements of emotion in this movie, and one scene in particular where, you know, I kind of teared up a little bit. And so, if you haven't seen this movie and you like the Injustice video games, I'd say give it a shot. If you're a fan of DC movies, I'd say give it a shot. Watch it, enjoy it, go nuts. So Injustice, the animated movie, what did you think about this film if you've seen it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these two videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.